Montana, and this is Fathers Are Important. Fathers Are Important is an Instagram Live podcast show where I allow all fathers to come on here and let their voice be heard and use this page as an outlet. I also allow women to come on here and let their voice be heard to use this page as an outlet to talk about the importance of fatherhood and for some women that are out there that may be going through parental alienation themselves. Now, I have my guest for this evening is Kim from Harlem, New York. And she should be on here any second. Just bear with me. How's everyone doing today? Everyone that is tuning in right now, can you please do me a favor and just comment below letting everybody know where you're from, where you're tuning in from. But I hope everybody's doing good this holiday season. And most importantly, I give my thoughts and prayers goes out to everyone that are being alienated from their kids and not seeing their kids during their holiday season. My thoughts and prayers are with you all. But we're going to go live with Kim. Let's see if she's on. She should be on here any second. Any second, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, she's on right now. We're going live with her right now. Going live. Once again, everyone, please take the time out and comment below, letting everyone know where you're from. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
All right.
How you doing?
Well, I'm good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Fathers Are Important.
Thank you for having me. It's actually an honor. I appreciate you, reaching out. I'm excited.
Thank you. Well, clearly I know who you are because we spoke already. But why don't you start the show off by letting everybody know your name and where you're from?
Of course. So, my name is Kimberly Gonzalez. I'm 25 years young, and I am born and raised from East Harlem, New York, in Manhattan. I have a 3-year-old son. He'll soon be 4, and yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Now let's start the show off, and I love the fact that I see a lot of. I feel home. I feel at home right now because I'm from Long Island, New York myself, and I see a lot of New York City people in the building right here. But let's start the show off right now, and let's ask you, Kim, why do you feel fathers are important?
I mean, the same way mothers are important. I don't think it's spoken about, often. I really feel like the same way, a mom is important in a child's life is the exact same way that. Can you? Okay, can you give me a minute, please?
I didn't phone.
Can you give me a minute? I'm sorry. Can you give me a minute, please? Can you go play with your toys and I'll be there in a minute? Okay. Thank you. Close the door. So, like I was saying, sorry.
It's okay. I guess he wanted to say hi to everyone.
I think fathers are just as important as moms. The same way they say, like, every parent needs a mother, every parent needs a father. Especially an active father. There are things that I, as a mom, can't teach my son because I'm not a man. There's some things that he's going to end up going through as he gets older in life and that I wouldn't be able to understand and to explain and to speak to him about because I've never experienced it as a man because I'm a woman, So I think it's important to have both parents in your life because it's just, it's more healthier than being raised by someone alone and seeing them struggle to raise you by yourself.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Now, talking briefly, I remember talking to you briefly on the phone earlier this morning, or earlier this afternoon, I should say, and you were talking about how about your history with your father. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Sure, absolutely. So, since day one, as a little girl, I've always been a daddy's girl. Always been a daddy's girl. However, my mom and him, split up when I was very, very young. So I remember, really all my life just looking for him. Like I said, I was a daddy's girl. So like I was used to, him being at home. Then when he wasn't at home, I kind of was always just looking for him. And he was there, but he wasn't actively there. I never had him look for me. I never had him reach out to me to come pick me up. It was always me kind of, having to call him to see him. I remember being a little girl begging my mom, to beg my older sister to take me to his house to see him. There's as I got older, as time went on and I got older, I realized like why am I looking for my father? Like, why isn't he looking for me? You know? So when we're together, we're like best friends. You know, like he understands me. I feel like my character, my personality, I feel like he is me. Like we're the same person when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to like our mindsets and things like that. So like I consider him like, yeah, he's my best friend, but you know, I do believe that he should have been he could be a lot more active in my life. So still to this day, you know, he doesn't look for me as often as I would like him to. I don't think I've spoken to him since like September, and it's not even because like we got into an argument, we got into a fallout. It's literally just because that's who he's been all his life. He doesn't look for us. He doesn't look for, you know, for me specifically, and my older sister actually. You know, I actually have a closer relationship with him than she does. And that's
When you're
because
with
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
when you're with him, does he show you a lot of love?
Um, in his way, yes, I would say yeah. Everybody has a different love language, so his love language is kind of just watching movies and you know doing nothing all day. So that's really what I do when I'm with him. So yeah, I mean when I'm with him, definitely, you know, we spend a lot of time together, and I cherish it, you know. But again, at the end of the day, it's like I wish I would have had more of that, and I wish I would have had a father who actually cared to look for me and cared to be around me more often as I wanted to be around him, because that would have kind of not put me in a position as an adult woman that I am to be searching for it in, you know, the wrong people.
Okay. Now here's my question to you. How do you think your life would have been if your father was more active in your life, if he was around more?
Whew, how do I think my life would have been? I honestly believe it would have been way different. In what aspects of that? I say relationships would be really the main one for me. Um, you know, in relationships and even friendships, this goes for, you know, relationship as far as friendship, everything. You know, if I really care for you, if I really have love for you, like I'm gonna go all out and I will go to the end of the world to make you happy and to make you smile. Um, and I feel like that's a part of me always feeling like I have to prove a point. And like being loved, I feel like I have to constantly prove myself that I can do for others and I can be there for others, even though those same people are never there for me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like if he was more active and I had an active father in my life who actually cared and who actually loved me the way that, you know, a father's supposed to, and actually, you know, hold my hand and, you know, have the father daughter dances and all those things, I feel like I wouldn't have looked for that safety, comfort feeling in a man. I, you know, have been, I think I kind of have attachment issues when it comes to that because, like I said, since a little girl, he's been like he'll be there and then he'll disappear for a long period of time. Because again, if I don't look for him, he doesn't look for me. So I kind of have like abandonment issues in a way, and I've realized it now as an adult as I've been through it. Like I have attachment issues to where I get attached to the wrong person, and I think the littlest thing that they do means that they love me, but it's really nothing, and they really don't. And I take it as like I take something small and I take it as a mile, and I'm like, I'm ready to just give you my all. Like I'm ready to just give you my entire heart, you know. And that's because I don't have
Mm-hmm.
that love. I don't have that love from a man. I don't know what it's like to be really loved by, you know, a man, because I didn't have that from my dad. So I think honestly, if he was more active, I feel like my life as far as relationship goes, my decisions as far as relationships go, would have been a lot different, and I probably wouldn't have gotten hurt, you know, as badly as I've been, you know, so far in my life.
Now, does it make you feel sad around Father's Day whenever you see like fathers like like because you know certain people will put up different posts on Facebook for social media itself saying
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day, Dad, and you'll see a father and son photo with them or a father and daughter photo with them. Does it make you feel sad and make you feel say things like, damn, I wish I had that around that time of the year?
Yes and no, and I'll explain both why. So yes, it makes me feel sad because of course every, you know, like I said, every child wants their parent there. Like my parents, God thank God, are, you know, alive. So I would love for, you know, me to have an active relationship with him. So yes, I do feel like I would wish to have those, you know, recent pictures with him and have those memories and stuff with him, to post about it and to feel like, okay, you know, like Happy Father's Day and just feel happy. But on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
when I say no, is more because I'm not used to having, like I'm not used to having that over the years. I've never in my life really every year, you know, look forward to Father's Day and look forward to buying him a gift and look forward to spending time with him One, because he moved so far away. He actually moved all the way to Pennsylvania, so I don't see him
Oh wow,
at all. Unless I go
wow.
see him, I don't really see him at all. And like he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't look for me. So like I don't really look forward to it to a point where it's like I'm excited because I'm gonna buy my father a gift. We're gonna go on a date. You know, we're gonna spend some time together. I never had that in my life, and any Father's Day. So I kind of just, you know, I guess you could say I kind of just brushed it off like a regular day.
Understandable, understandable. Now, um, my next question to you is let's talk. I remember you briefly telling me about how your relationship is with your kid father. How was that?
Yes. So thankfully, now our relationship is, you know, it's actually very, very good. Um, we are not the best of friends, but we're friends, and we actually have a healthy co-parenting relationship that I'm grateful for. You know, because not everybody can say that. So, I mean, it wasn't easy to get here, but you know, we do have a healthy co-parenting relationship.
Now, was it now there must have been a lot of speed bumps in the beginning, right?
A lot of speed bumps. When the first, I want to say that maybe the first a year and a half of my son's birth, it was very rocky, and mainly because, you know, I won't speak about, you know, what happened, you know, what happened between us breaking up and things like that, because I respect where we are now. But like with what happened and how we broke up and the transition of us not being together, let me just put this out there: we were together for 8 years, and when I had my son, like we broke up or whatever. So it was a lot of people in our ear, like on my end, people in my ear, on his end, people in his ear, and we were just constantly like not seeing eye to eye. And we were just going about not really doing what we felt we wanted to do, but kind of going about and doing things that people were telling us to do. And obviously, it was the opposite because people are telling him to do one thing, they're telling me to do another, so it just wasn't working um, then. So the first year and a half, it was very, very rocky, very, very toxic, very unhappy. Like, yeah, it just wasn't good. But I'm grateful for where we are today.
So you came a long way.
Definitely came a long way. And those that know me, that are on this live, that seen it, and another thing about it is like it was public. Everything that happened between us, you know, it was public. So the people that really know me, that know us, know what I mean by like it was toxic, it was bad. It just wasn't, you know, the ideal way to, I guess, break up and to kind of just bring a child into this world. But you know, life happens, and I'm grateful that we were able to be grown enough and adult enough to actually get over it and to work
So,
through it.
what advice would you be able to give somebody when it comes to communicating with their kid father?
Compromise, I think, that's the first word that comes to my mind when it comes to co-parenting is compromise. There are a lot of things that you have to compromise with when it comes to raising a child with somebody. Um, Even if you guys are not together, that does not mean that you can still do whatever you feel like you want to do. You know, like
Absolutely.
you have to come to a common ground as parents of that child, and you know, say, okay, yes, we're gonna do this. No, we're gonna do that. I think I want to do this, but are you comfortable with this kind of thing? Like one thing, a lot of people don't do, and it's because of the elder generation. They don't know what it's like to communicate. People don't have healthy communication. They think
Mm-hmm.
everything is an argument.
Very true.
They think everything's an argument. They think everything is like you're trying to come at me in a bad way. Like I really feel like communication is a big thing, and compromising is a big thing, because something that I may not be comfortable with, he might want to do, but if it's not harming my child in any kind of way, if it's not, you know, putting him in anything in any harm's way, I should say, then it's like, why not, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I think compromise is the number one thing I would tell someone when they're co-parenting. It's just, you have to compromise. You have to, and another thing I would say when it comes to co-parenting is you have to do things for your child and not for the significant, and not for the other person. I really believe co-parenting does not work, and it will not work until the both of you or one or the other are completely, not want to say over the person, but are in a position to where they're not worrying about what you're doing. Because if the person's worrying about because if I'm worried about what he's doing, I'm gonna react off of the emotion of what he's doing in his life that has nothing to do with my son. That's why a lot of women use their kids as pawns, because
Absolutely.
they're still into the father. They still want them to do things on their time, on their say, but you know that it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the kids. So that's
And that's a
another thing.
That's an interesting topic that you brought up that I'm going to get to you very shortly. But before I get there, can you reintroduce yourself to everyone again that's just now tuning in?
Absolutely. So my name is Kimberly Gonzalez, you guys. I'm 25 years young. I have a 3-year-old son, and I am based and born and raised from Harlem, New York, the East Side.
And my name is Arcadio Santana, coming to you live from Long Island, New York. And this is Photos Are Important. If you are new to this page, please take the time out and follow this page. Now, my next question to you is, what are your thoughts on parental alienation? Like women that are out there that are alienating their kids from their father, and we all know how it is that it damages is that it damages not just the father, but it damages that entire side of that family. What are your thoughts on it?
So my thoughts on that, when it comes to a woman, just keeping the children away from their dad, I really believe it depends on the situation. That's one. There are reasons there are good reasons as to why a woman doesn't feel comfortable with the parent with the child going with the father, and I can agree, to those kind of good reasons. But most of the time, and majority of the time, is just out of being petty, and just being, again, emotionally still involved with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's probably one of the worst things you can do,
Yeah,
for your child, honestly,
absolutely.
because one, as a mother, so this is from a mother standpoint. Is your child gonna suffer sooner or later? Maybe they're not young enough to realize it, but not only is your child suffering, you as a mother are gonna suffer as well, because you have no break. You know what I mean? Like, women say, "Oh, it's for the child." No, like, as a mom, we need a break. You need a break. You to be with your kid 20, and I love my son, but to be with them 24/7, 7 days a week, is mentally draining, okay? Because these kids are very needy. So if you have a significant, a partner, I should say, who's trying to actively be there and to take your child, not only so you can get a break, that's one, so they can actually spend time with their kid, why not allow them to do that? If the situation is, not that deep, like I said, um that's one of the biggest things I kind of question all the time. Like, the same way you're trying to keep your kid from their dad is the same way you're keeping yourself from your freedom. When you are mentally not there as a mother, it feeds all your children feed off of it. So we all need that break, whether it's a weekend, whether it's 24 hours, 48 hours, like whatever it is. I feel like everyone needs a break. And it's just it's just not the way to go. Like, and it goes both ends. Like, men do the same thing to women too, but as far as mothers go, like, if you're keeping your children from your child's father, it's like, why? That's the number one question I would ask, is like, why? And a majority of the time it's again a petty reason, and it has nothing to
Big
do
time.
with the child, and it has everything to do with the other person. And until you sit down and you separate, your emotions from reality, that's when you'll realize, like, I'm only doing this not to hurt myself, but I'm doing this to hurt my kid.
Have you came across anybody personally, without saying that their names on here, but have you came across anybody personally that you would know of that are being petty, alienating their kid from their father?
um
Have you witnessed it? Is what I'm
I've
saying.
witnessed it. Yeah, I've witnessed it. Um, I mean, I've witnessed it firsthand. I hear stories about it, from
Mm-hmm.
when I was a kid. And again, I just tell myself, like, just why? Like, why? As a mother, you need a break. If the parent is trying, and the parent is, looking for the kid and being there, just allow them to. I've witnessed it. And again, if it's I haven't witnessed it, like, within my circle of friends. I've never seen anyone, like, I'm close to, keep their kid from anybody. At least not for a good, like, a petty reason. But for, like, I see people I don't know. I would say, like, people I follow on Instagram, little things, like little situations that I'll
Mm-hmm.
see, and it's just like, you're not hurting anybody. You're really not hurting anybody else but you and your son, or your
Yeah.
daughter, like your kid. You're not hurting
Yes.
anybody besides you two, because one, that there like I said in the beginning, there are things that, as me as a mother, that I will never understand when it comes to my son, because he's a man. Well, he will be a man. I am a woman. There are things that he might feel more comfortable talking about with his dad than he does with me. And that's okay. But that's why they deserve both parents in their life. So I've witnessed it. Um, I hate it. Honestly, I honestly hate it. I hate to see mothers keep their kids from their fathers. I hate to see fathers act like they don't have any kids, you know, and that's why I say I'm forever grateful for the relationship that we do have, me and his father, because like I said, there are fathers out here that have kids that don't even look for them. So the fact that he looks for him, the fact that he, you know, takes him on the weekends, he takes him every single weekend. He spends time with him. Like the fact that he's active, I appreciate it. You know, above anything else, I appreciate that.
Now let's talk about another subject. Let's talk about family court. Now everybody feels personally that family court is a broken court system. The broken family court system, everyone calls it. What are your thoughts on that?
As far as people who go to family court, or just like my thoughts on it personally.
What are your thoughts on family court? Do you feel that family courts contradict themselves and family court breaks up families?
Um, do I feel like they break? I honestly don't believe anything breaks up a family besides the two individuals. To be completely honest
Okay.
with you, it takes a decision between both the mother and the father to say, okay, this is it. Um, Whether it's a healthy reason or not, I just feel like whether you're gonna go to court, you know, be yeah, again, this comes with the communication. You guys have to be on the same accord. You guys have to be understanding of what you guys want. So if you can't make it work, you know, without the court system, then you know, of course, if you go to the court system. But like, do I believe the court system breaks families apart? No, I don't. I believe the mother and the father, the two individuals who had that child, are breaking up their family.
Okay. Okay. Now, here's my next question to you. Do you feel in some ways that there needs to be a reform in family court?
Yes, of course, of course.
If so, if you had the power to do a reform in family court, what would you change? And before you answer that question, everybody that's tuning in right now, I want to ask everybody that same question, and I would like everybody to type in below at the comment box and answer the question. If you all had the power to do a reform in family court, what would you change? Please type your answer in below. But Miss Kim, please take it away.
So one thing that I'll change when it comes to family court is the one-sided decision making when it comes to both the mother and the father. So when I say that, I mean the mother's really more favored than the father when it comes to family court, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like they have to constantly they have to show, you know, an immense amount of proof and have immense amount of people to have their backs. Like people don't talk much about bitter or unfit mothers and bitter baby mothers. Like a lot of women are unfit, you know, mothers. Like, and I'm not even saying that's where the way they take care of their kid. I'm saying mentally and as far as being in a relationship, women don't make it easy for a man to have a relationship with them when it comes to their kids. So if you if you know that as a mother, then and you know that because the court is going to have your back, you know, they take that as an advantage. And I don't think that's a way to go about it. If you're gonna go to court, it has to be because you both agree that this is the best thing for you both to do. I don't think it's, oh, I'm gonna go to court because I know I'm gonna have the upper hand against the, you know, against him.
Awesome answer. That was a great answer. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask you this one final question. If you had a chance to talk to all women, and there's men out there, fathers out there that alienates their kid from the mother whenever they have sole custody. But if you had a chance to talk to both parents that are alienating the child from the other parent, what would your civil message be to them?
So my message to the family that just can't get it together, the family that feels like, you know, or the mother that feels like she has to keep her kid away from them, the father because of whatever reason, is you guys have to come to a common ground. You both have to be and you both have to agree to the same thing. You as a mother, just because you probably have, you know, or you're with your child 25/8, just because you are, you know, with them 24/7 doesn't mean that, you know, you can't, that you don't deserve a break is what I should say. Like the same access you have to your kid is the same amount of access the father should have to his kid, whether he lives in the household or not. I believe that a two-parent household for two people that don't love each other no more, and that's kind of negative, and they just are toxic for each other, isn't healthier than a healthy co-parenting relationship. So find a common ground, build your communication, compromise with each other, because you guys are not going to always see eye to eye. And just make it work for the child. It has to be for the child, because if you're going to be friends, at the end of the day, you have to deal with this person for the rest of your life. So you have no choice but to be friends with this person. I'm not saying be best friends. I'm not saying, go on dates and go out, and no, I'm not saying none of that. But you guys have to be friends, because you have to do what you have to do and do what's right for your kid. Because at the end of the day, think about it like this: what you guys portray as parents, co-parenting, is what your child's gonna grow up and eventually duplicate. So if you have a toxic and toxic co-parenting relationship, they're gonna grow up and think that that's okay, and they're probably gonna have this son. Your son's probably gonna have kids with women and think it's okay to just alienate their kids because he was alienated and all this stuff. And it's just a generational thing that has to be broken. So communication, compromise, and find a common ground.
You're absolutely right. Kim, I want to take this time and thank you for being on the Fathers Are Important podcast show. And everybody, once again, that's tuning in, thank you for being on here tonight and showing support for Kim. Once again, if you're new to this page, please take the time out and follow Fathers Are Important. And once again, thank you from Long Island, New York to Harlem. Please share the love of Fathers Are Important.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor, and I look forward to tuning into all the rest of the podcast shows that you have. Thank you guys for tuning in, all the viewers as well. You guys have a great
night. Absolutely. And you are more than welcome at any time you are ready to come back to the Fathers Are Important podcast show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And you have a good night. And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Fathers Are Important. And we are taking the time out each time, every week, to have a special guest on here. If any of you that have viewed it tonight would like to be on Fathers Are Important Instagram Live podcast show, please take the time out and DM me. Let me know a best time and your schedule, and we could get this thing going. And I just want to say something briefly that much like COVID, parental alienation is a global pandemic, and it is time for all of us to stand up and let our voice be heard on here by raising awareness as much as possible to let everyone know that fathers are important. Most importantly, it takes two, not one, but two human beings to create another life. My name is Arcadio Santana, coming to you live from Long Island, New York, and I'm letting you all know why fathers are important. Have a good night, and most importantly, Merry Christmas.